Grand risings, grand blessings, everybody. I hope that everyone is doing amazing on this morning. Man, I have like so much on my mind this morning. My theta state this morning was just off the charts, and thoughts were just coming to me at such an very elevated level that I don't even know like really where to begin or what I should really focus in on to share with you all on today. But when you really start thinking about life, like when you really get in that mindset of you and you really start thinking about life and you really start to assess your life, you assess your history, and you are being very intentional about it, you're being very methodical about it, you really begin to see patterns, right? You really begin to see things that really don't serve you. You really begin to see beliefs that really influence you to operate on repeat, if that makes sense. And I know sometimes it's scary, or it can be scary, to have to really look at your life and take ownership of the choices that we've made, right? Because you really begin to see that whatever belief system you hold, whatever belief system you carry, is actually being very influential on why you keep living on repeat in an unhealthy way. I shared in our esoteric soul group that one of the lessons that I had to learn was I had to start being very present to and asking myself, are you trying to repeat something that you felt like you lost? Because sometimes we can try to recreate what we felt we lost. For example, a relationship. It didn't work with Corey, and now I meet Tim, and I'm trying to prove, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, that I can right what I feel like was wronged in that last relationship. And sometimes, and this is my personal belief, I think on a great deal, operating in that space, knowingly or unknowingly, it keeps you having to repeat the same lessons. I hope I'm making sense, because the way that it was coming to my brain this morning. And so we don't even know that we're in this dysfunctional, emotional, psychological, spiritual cycle, because we're trying to right the wrong, or right what we feel like we've lost, or get back what we feel like we've lost. And the reality is that if we don't stop and say, hey, what am I doing? What, like, for real, what is my belief system? What is in me that I'm in agreement with, that I'm not aware of, that keeps me on this unhealthy cycle? We just gonna be in the cycle of dysfunction. And it's not until you take ownership, to that truth. A lot of times I talk about taking off the mask. And what a point that came to me this morning was the moment that you accept truth is the moment that the mask come off. The moment that you accept truth, that's the moment that the mask come off. And we are so afraid to take off the mask and accept truth and walk in truth. Jesus said, the truth shall make you free. He didn't quantify. He didn't say that truth is only this. He didn't say truth was only that. He said truth, and the truth shall make you free. So ultimately, what it boils down to, do you want to be free? I remember Jesus asking one person in the Bible, do you want to be healed? Because he wasn't in this broken down, watered down spiritual experience that we often experience in our culture, because he understood you have to want it. Nobody can make you want it. He never forced anybody to be healed. Talk, Alexis. You have to want that with every part of your being. And it may even come in increments, but even in the increments, you still have to want it. And we live in a culture where we are afraid to tell people, you got to take off the mask, baby. As long as you're carrying that mask, and that mask can be addictions, that mask can be, looking for love in all the wrong places, that mask can be, trauma, abuse, that mask can be anything. But until you walk in that truth, you don't see yourself fully. Sometimes that truth is, I was abused, and accepting that and being one with that. Sometimes that truth is, no, I didn't make the right choice. Sometimes that truth is, I did this because I was in pain. I wasn't kind to myself, and I wasn't gentle with myself. Truth, baby. Truth. You not understanding who you are creates this, it keeps this cycle going. I always talk about, when I coach clients, and we have these mini sessions or long sessions, I always try to bring to the table or help them to unfold in a way that they are able to see the patterns in life that are unhealthy. If you disrespect money, money will disrespect you. And until you own that truth that, no, I do not handle money well. Yes, I do disrespect money. I don't do what I'm supposed to do with the money. And then, I start yelling, the devil trying to get me or the devil, want this or that. But the reality is, baby, you just wasn't responsible with your funds. And not being responsible with funds could really be, because that's the symptom, not being responsible. The real deep-rooted issue could be that I never felt like I had enough, or I'm trying to prove something to people. I want to fit in. So truth, I don't think I could ever really ever stop talking about taking off the mask, because it is so essential to how we grow and how we evolve. I had to take off the mask of what people were going to think about me, because I started on this path. And it's not that the other path I was on was wrong. It just was no longer right for me. And the moment that I decided to walk in that truth, freedom. So if you're really in this space where you are truly trying to, you're analyzing your life, you're looking at these spaces where you see that you've been on repeat, like you find yourself coming back to the same spot, whether it's a year later, whether it's 2 years later, then it's really time to sit down and hone in to what is that really rooted in. I don't see myself clearly. Somewhere in me, I'm in agreement with something that I don't realize. Like, you have to really start asking questions. And I can guarantee you the answer may not come necessarily when you ask it, but the more you filter, the more you self-investigate, the answer will show up. It will show up. And on that note, thank you for allowing me to share space and time with you. And until next time, Ashe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.